Hello, beautiful YouTube people, my little eggs, what is up? First off, before I get into the video, I do just want to apologize for not putting this video earlier, because while I am on winter break, my work schedule certainly isn't. But, I mean, I've had this footage recorded for a little while. I think I actually recorded this footage when I was sick, which honestly, I think at this point that was like 3 weeks ago. So I'm sorry for not putting a video out for a pretty long time, or at least a Reddit video. But with that being said, let's hop right into it because I have a couple stories here that, as always, I don't read the stories before talking about them. I just look at the title and I open them in a new tab and I will just read them out to you guys and give you a live reaction. And again, as always, if you have any views contested or something you want to contest in the comments, please do go ahead. I'm very open to comments and stuff. I actually love talking to you guys about these stories after the fact. So if there's anything you guys want to say about it, just go right into the comments, pop down. And while you're down there, I think you should like and subscribe. I mean, I like seeing these little view numbers. I like seeing little high view numbers. I really appreciate it. But with that being said, let's get right into the first story of the video. Oh, and one last thing before I read the title of this video. These are from a pretty large variety of subreddits. Just clicking through them, I'm seeing at least three, which is not that large, but for a 7 story video, I would say it's pretty large. But anyways, that's completely aside the point. The title of the first story, which is from Am I the Asshole, is "My husband wakes me up multiple times every night. I, 40F, am very, very health conscious, and I would like to go to bed early, around 9:30 p.m. I have a young child and like to ensure that I get enough sleep even when woken early. My husband, 39M, chooses to go to bed a bit later. I don't mind when I wake up when he comes to bed, but lately he's decided that he needs to turn the bright overhead light on every single time he comes to bed so he can see himself to get ready to sleep. He used to just use a flashlight on his phone, but says he doesn't want to feel like he has to tiptoe around. This is an issue for me because not only does it wake me up, but it makes it more difficult to fall back to sleep because I'm more fully awake. And he also refuses to put his phone on Do Not Disturb mode at night. Oh my god. I'm not even sure why, but just flatly refuses. I know it's very simple to set your phone up to accept messages and calls from certain numbers, and I don't know why this would not be an option for him. It usually goes off at least once or twice a night, and it wakes me up, though it doesn't seem to bother him at all. And I've become increasingly frustrated with the multiple wakings I've had, and I've definitely yelled at him during the night multiple times. I find it disrespectful to another person who's a light sleeper to not make small, simple steps to help them sleep better. He sees this as me trying to control him. I've always been a light sleeper, and sleep has always been an issue between us. Am I the ass? All right, there's actually zero chance that this guy thinks it's normal to leave his phone ringer on when someone else is there. I mean, sometimes I leave my ringer on when I'm sleeping, but that's, I mean, it's a different thing because I sleep alone. I'm not sleeping with anyone, especially if I was sleeping with someone and I knew they were a light sleeper and I knew that they had issues with sleeping and stuff. I wouldn't even think about leaving my ringer on unless I was waiting on something. Or obviously, unless they were fine with it too. But it's crazy. I just don't think this guy is ready to be held accountable for his own situation because I mean he's saying that it's the classic control thing. It's a classic control thing. I mean, I'm even seeing in the top comment here, someone says the control argument is a classic gaslighting tactic used by people who don't want to be held accountable for their shitty behavior. That is literally exactly what I just said. That is seriously what I just said. And then the commenter also continues to say, asking your partner to use a bedside lamp or a phone flashlight instead of a 100-watt overhead sun is not control. It's basic cohabitation etiquette. If he wants to live like he's the only person in the room, he should sleep in a room where he's the only person. And I was actually about to get to that too. I was gonna be like, if he wants to treat the place like it's his, then he should move into a place that is his specifically. I mean, I'm not saying move in, move out. move out. I mean, like move in, as in like maybe move into another room, because what it looks like here is that he's not interested in OP's comfort, or not necessarily that he's not interested, but not that he cares so much about it. Like, I mean, I'm not supporting this guy at all. I'm just saying, I mean, if you're living with this person, which we don't know, I don't think they mentioned how long they've been together for, but if they were together for like 10 years, I would get like frustration, like, oh no, I don't want to have to do this every night, but just deal with it, bro. Is it really that deep? Like, how how much do you even really need to get ready for bed? I mean, this also might just be like a one-sided thing, but I don't really need much to get ready for bed. But I mean, like again, this might just be a me thing. But I literally just walk. If I'm ready for bed, I'll just walk into my room and just lay on my bed and just like because I mean I guess but that's because I do all my things that I need to get ready for bed outside of my room, like I'll brush my teeth and stuff. I mean, I don't really get dressed for bed, so again, this, as I said, might just be a me thing or a certain like percentage of the population thing, but I don't see why he has to do so much to turn on a huge overhead light, you know what I mean? And I mean, I was also kind of thinking of this too. Like, I don't think I would even use a flashlight, because a flashlight just feels like super strong still. This guy says, "My good dude, what the actual," and I can't stress this enough. F. My wife goes to bed considerably earlier than I do, and I don't turn the bedroom light on. Hell, I don't even use the flashlight on my phone. If I need to look, I'll turn the screen on and use that for a smidge of light. Your husband's showing an absolutely staggering amount of disrespect here. Tell me he's not welcome back into the bedroom until he learns how to behave as though he actually cares about your well-being. All right, well, hold on. That's a little bit of a stretch to go from 0 to 100. But I mean, I get where it's coming from, or like I when I have people sleeping over my house, like if I have my best friend sleeping over or something, like I'm not gonna just turn on the flashlight if everyone's sleeping. I'm gonna use my phone screen, that just like how this guy was saying. I'm gonna use my phone screen. I'm not gonna use anything crazy that could have the potential of waking anyone up. Granted, he sleeps with his wife a lot more than I have my friends sleep over, but still, it's a little bit of the same concept. Anyways, OP, you're not the asshole. I would just recommend. I mean, if you haven't already, because I don't think I see OP saying that they had like a conversation with them. All OP says is that I've definitely yelled at him during the night. I think you should like have an actual sit down conversation with them. But again, I say this for a lot of things, because most of the time, not most of the time, a lot of the 50, I'll say 50% of the time. 50% of the time, having a sit down conversation with someone where you can make sure that they realize what they're doing is wrong, even though I'm pretty sure that this guy already knows what he's doing is wrong, can like get into their head that, oh, maybe this is wrong. Maybe I should change my ways, or maybe I should start trying more to change my ways, because it could be beneficial. So I would say have a sit down conversation, and if it doesn't, I mean, it seems like you're already fed up with this enough. I know I called it 0 to 100 before, but make this guy sleep on the couch, bro. Move him into the living room, because if he wants to treat the bedroom like it's his own personal solo space, when it's both of your guys's, he can treat the living room couch like his own personal solo space. All right, but with that being said, let's move right on to the next story, which is from r/entitled people. The title is "My Fling from 5 years ago is mad at me." I, 28F, have been with my current boyfriend, John, for the past 3 years. He has been my rock, and I hope to marry him. 5 years ago, I had a fling with a former college mate. Funnily, he shares the same name as my current boyfriend. We went out on 2 dates, but he never called me after that, so I assumed it fizzled. To be honest, I'm very glad now that he made no attempt to contact me after the 2 dates. John the fling and I have little to no contact. However, we have a few mutual friends. I recently ran into him at a wedding and was catching up with him. He asked me if I was seeing someone, and I told him I was dating a guy with the same name as his. For some godforsaken reason, John the Fling was highly offended by this. He said if you wanted to end up with a John, I was right there. Like, people with the same name are interchangeable. I politely reminded him that he never called me back. He said that he was waiting for me to call him, and I never did, so he gave up. I could have called him, but honestly, I just wasn't feeling it. He made a few unwarranted taunts over text after that, and to protect my peace, I simply blocked him. No more of that in 2026. Oh my god, it's 2026. Happy New Year, by the way. My boyfriend simply found it amusing, and while he's made a joke about it, We've both taken it in a positive spirit. P.S. Not that it matters, but I should clarify that the name is an extremely common name here in India. And OP also, before ending off the story, writes a little edit in here that says this. Some people are taking this so seriously, asking why I even had the slightest contact with John the Fling. We have a lot of mutual friends and are on some WhatsApp groups together, so we do end up wishing each other on birthdays/festivals. That's the extent of contact that we have. As for why I'm posting this, it's pretty much because I thought Reddit could use a funny story, not looking for any kind of advice. Oh, well, I'm going to give you some advice anyways. Well, I mean, not really advice, more so like a criticizing the story. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, I mean, as OP literally said here, like, people with the same name are interchangeable. Like, well, what is going through this guy's head? Like, may I ask? It's like saying, I actually work with, well, if you don't know, if you don't watch my challenge games videos, you wouldn't know this, but my name is Matt. Anna calls me Matt in those videos all the time. I work with, I work with what is it, two other mats or two other mats. Sorry, I'm starting to lose track. You can't just say, oh, Matt, you switch in with Matt, and Matt, you switch in with Matt, because we all have like different roles. I mean, obviously, I don't know why I'm explaining this. People should know that people with the same name are interchangeable. And if you don't, I think you should like and subscribe, because you're very unique. But I also think that I don't really like you, because what the hell is going through your little peanut brain? Apparently, also because this guy thinks that people with the same name are interchangeable. He probably thinks like that OP just picked her new boyfriend because of his name, which I think is insane. That someone could possibly, that someone could possibly think like this. I mean, I'm just going through the comments here, and it's like, LOL, seems like someone still had lingering feelings. Yeah, and just a bunch of stuff like this. This poor guy. I mean, I'm not saying poor guy like I feel bad for him. Like, he's a freaking idiot for even thinking like this, and he's a POS that is whatever, but like I don't feel bad for him, but poor guy, he's probably so sad and alone. Like, anyways, let's move on to the next story, which is from Entitled Parents. The title of this one is, Am I crazy for not wanting my parents having access to my bank info? I, 18F, have been working for a year and a half, and I'm living with my parents. Yesterday, my dad came into my room and asked to see my pay statement so he could see my gross income for taxes. I didn't think anything of it, so I showed him. I guess he snooped around and saw what my net pay was. He asked how much money I had in my account. I told him the truth, and of course it was less than what my net pay was. He asked why it didn't match up, and I told him all about the things I bought over the year. This is where the problem started. Even after I told him the truth, he wanted to see my transactions. I told him no, because I think it's a total invasion of privacy, and it's weird for him to check my bank account. He got angry and said that since I live under his roof, I get no privacy. Damn. We got into an argument, and he thinks that he should have total access to my bank account because he thinks that I'm doing something wrong with my money. I think that he should trust what I'm saying. My dad got my mom involved, and now they're both arguing with me. My dad now wants my password to my bank account, and I think that's totally unfair. I should be allowed to have some independence. Keep in mind, I don't have access to my card. Every time I want to spend my money, I have to ask permission, and then my parents will allow me to use my card. So they literally know what I do with my money. I've never once complained about this ridiculous rule out of respect for them, so I don't understand why they don't have respect for me. I feel overwhelmed. I know I have nothing to hide, so the problem would be solved if I just show my transactions, but it's mainly the principle of it. I want them to trust me. I want them to give me my privacy and independence on what I do or don't do with my money. I want a second opinion. Am I in the wrong? Well, the first thing I want to say before I say anything else, because I do actually have quite a bit of things to say, is if you have to ask your parents to use the card, that means your parents know that you're buying stuff. Then why is the dad surprised when the net pay doesn't match what's in the account? Like, you're very clearly spending money. I don't know. It just doesn't really add up. I mean, I don't know if it's because there's some like flaws in the story, if it's like real, or if the dad is just a idiot. I mean, I don't like reviewing stories based off if they're real or not, so I just go off of if every single one is real. But like, yeah, I don't get it. It just doesn't add up, and I might not be the best person to respond to the story because I get paid like very close to minimum wage, like 16 or whatever an hour. At least from where I'm from, I get paid very close to minimum wage, and I only work like I think it's like 10 hours a week because I mean I only work 1 day a week. I'm probably gonna bump that up, but it's yeah I get like $300 every other week, and I'm not gonna lie. I like going out and like getting food and stuff, and I just bought a new keyboard. I know Christmas just passed, but I bought a new keyboard because I didn't get it, and it's just like, I personally I can't really hold money for the life of me, but like the OP's parents know that they're spending money. Then what is the issue here? Like, I don't understand the issue, especially regarding the fact that I mean obviously people can spend money, but like, is it really that harmful? Is it really that bad to spend money every once in a while? And on top of that, OP's 18 years old. That means that you should have full control of your bank account. You don't need to show anyone anything. You don't need to give anyone a password or anything. Like how the top comment here says that I just read. It says, you're 18, you're an adult, it is your bank account. They should have no access to it. Get a new bank account and transfer all your money to it. And make sure they have no access to it. And also do your own taxes. And I mean, yeah, that is entirely true. But one final thing before we move into the next story, which is also another comment here. This commenter writes, you're legally an adult, so they have no right to any of your financials. That being said, do you pay rent, pay for your own food, pay them for the utilities that you use? They could very well make an issue of this if you're still being 100% supported by them. Lots of people are going to tell you just to get your own bank account, you're an adult, that they don't have any power over you, etc., when we both know it's more complicated than that. I would suggest offering to pay rent. That will give you more of a leg to stand on when they insist on continuing to treat you as a child. They need to stop treating you as a child, but you also need to start advocating for yourself and behaving more like an adult as well. And then someone replies to this chain saying, this exactly, you must definitely think before you act. You're definitely an adult now. However, the fact that you still live at home puts you on some shaky ground. Start looking at how much you make and how much apartments cost and how much you think you still need for food and other expensive. See what sort of roommate situations might be available for you to move into. This will give you a better idea of whether this fight is worth its weight. If you do the math and you can afford to live by yourself or with a roommate, it might be time to make that step. If not, you might have to capitulate your parents. If you do, you might want to have your parents sit down and have a conversation with you and do something negotiating about what they can and can't see. I would also think that starting to put a savings account aside that you can put away a certain set amount of money a month would be a good idea. You might even want to start looking at investing into stocks. If you start putting money into the market now, your money can grow exponentially over the next 20 to 40 years. Which, yeah, I think this is entirely, this whole like chain is amazing, at least for OP to read, and hopefully this might actually be able to help some of you guys over who are watching this video as well. Especially, you do definitely need to think before you act. I mean, most of the time, as I said in the beginning of this video, when I'm reading these stories, I don't read them beforehand, so I don't really have time to think. But then there are great comments like this that come and pull through. Like, you definitely want to think before you act, especially in situations like this. You don't want to be rash because that can actually just turn towards your ultimate downfall. Alright, with that being said though, let's move right on to our next story, which is from Am I the Asshole? And the title of this story is, Am I the Asshole for Buying My Girlfriend Vanilla Shampoo? My girlfriend uses a few different types of shampoo and alternates between them. One of them, a vanilla scented one, is my favorite. She asked me to pick up some things for her at the store, and on my way to check out, I saw the vanilla shampoo and I grabbed that too. When I got back to her apartment, she started putting things away that I bought. She was confused by the shampoo and asked me why I got it. I said that I saw it and I know she uses that kind, so I grabbed it for her. She said she wasn't running low on shampoo. I said, I know, but it doesn't expire, and that one's my favorite. I teasingly said that she should use it if she's planning to wash her hair tonight. She asked what I meant by it being my favorite, and I said I like the way it makes her hair smell, like cookies. She honestly looked a little weirded out. I asked her if she was okay. She said it was weird that I sexualized her shampoo. What? She said it's weird that I sexualized her shampoo. I said smelling nice is sexy. I asked if she thinks I'm sexier when I use nice smelling soaps and deodorants. She said not really, as long as I don't actively smell bad. I said maybe it's different for everyone. She said honestly about her that something as mundane as shampoo was sexual to me. She asked if something else smelled like vanilla, I would be attracted to it or attracted to them. And I said no, but she was misunderstanding me and she asked me to clarify, but I don't think I did a very good job. I said I specifically liked the smell on her, not other people, and she still seemed put out, so I headed home to give her space. Was I an asshole for buying the shampoo and telling her I like when she uses it? To me, that's not weird, but maybe that's just because I'm a guy. Is there a layer to this that I'm not seeing? Alright, I'm just gonna read right away, like first thing from a comment, because this commenter just puts into words what I'm thinking, because I can't really put into words what I'm thinking. And it's a reply to another comment, but they write, yeah, that was some weird jump into the so you think I'm sexy when it's not vanilla type of thought train and trying to make it some sort of fetish by the sound of it. Like, there was no need to bring it to this point. And then this person also says, by her logic, now I'm sexually attracted to a friend who uses perfume I love smelling. Also, and to another friend because I picked up a hand cream for her that I love the smell of. I don't understand. Like, I seriously don't understand what is going through OP's girlfriend's head. If anything, I feel like it should be a compliment that your boyfriend thought of you and got you a shampoo because he likes how the shampoo smells. Like, since when is that an insult? Because it's disgusting and he's sexualizing shampoo. I mean, she's definitely the one. I mean, I find it hard to say she's the one sexualizing the shampoo, but she essentially is. That's crazy that's crazy to say. And because I mean, this is just such an absolutely insane story. I am scrolling through the comments mainly in this one because there are like thoughts in my head that I can't really put into words that really that the words don't really how do I say this? How do I say this? These are words that I would not like on my YouTube channel. But anyways, reading through more comments here. This person says, which I was thinking about the word insecure directly, and this comment says it. It says, she needs to take a deep breath and relax. As a woman myself, if my boyfriend bought me shampoo he knows I use and he likes the smell of it, I'd be so flattered and touched, especially if he said the smell is sexy on me. She sounds insecure. It's true. She's insecure. About what? I don't know, but she is insecure. And I don't know why she needs to be insecure when her boyfriend is saying that he likes it. But, I mean, again, it could just be a per person thing like how it was before, which I still wouldn't understand. But anyways, let's move right on to the next story, which is from r/entitled people, and the title of the story is I work at a local coffee shop and just had the most entitled customer interaction of my entire life. This woman, maybe in her late 40s, comes in 10 minutes before closing and orders a super complicated drink. Half calf, oat milk, extra hot, 2 pumps vanilla, 1 pump hazelnut, light foam in a for here mug. But fine, whatever. I made it exactly how she asked. She takes one sip and immediately says that it's wrong. She says it's not hot enough, even though the steam was literally visible. And I offer to remake it. She goes, well, I don't have time now. I have to get to my yoga class. So I'm like, okay, sorry about that. Have a good night. And she just stares at me. Finally, she goes, aren't you going to offer me a refund or a free drink card? And I explained that company policy is we can remake drinks, but we can't do refunds if the drink was made correctly, which it was. She then asked for my manager. My manager, 23F, absolutely amazing, comes out and repeats the same policy. This woman then says, I spend $6 here almost every day, and this is how you treat loyal customers? My manager very calmly points out that she's never seen her before in the 2 years she's worked here. The woman then left a 1-star review saying we're hostile to middle-aged women and that we need customer service training. I'm just exhausted. Why are people like this? Honestly, I feel for so many of these stories because I work in banquet service, so like I do wedding catering, And sometimes people are just so rude and nasty for no reason, but you kind of just like have to deal with it. I mean, I feel like especially it's a little different with a wedding catering than it is in a coffee shop, because when you're working in a wedding, like a wedding venue, you literally cannot like be an ass because they're gonna be there for hours, kind of thing. So like this reminds me of something that literally happened at work yesterday, which I hope you guys don't mind if I mention this. Um, I was just clearing like whatever tables and stuff, and this group of people was like a good I'll say like a good like 2 meters, like 6 feet away from this table, and the table had two half empty wine glasses on it, and the table also had an empty beer bottle. So obviously I'm gonna think like, oh yeah, I can clear all this, right? And I kid you not, I kid you not. I go to reach for one of the wine glasses. I already took one of the wine glasses, and the empty beer bottle is on my tray. And I went to go reach for the other wine glass, and the woman, I swear, she didn't even look at me. She just looks at the wine glass and says, no, you don't take this. You don't take this one. I'm like, what? Like, I mean, obviously I didn't say that out loud, but like that was like so incredibly rude. And I mean, I deal with like, because I only, as I said earlier, I only work once a week, so I don't really deal with things like this too often. Maybe like once a month, but still, once a month is insane for only working like 4 or 5 times a month. That's a 20% chance I get a person who just doesn't know basic human etiquette. Like, you get what I mean? Anyways, that was a complete tangent. Let's get back to this story, which I seriously, I think it's insane that someone can go into some place and just kind of sort of demand that they get a refund or a free drink. Like, unless something is really messed up, like, then you're not getting a refund. You don't deserve a refund. It kind of reminds me of how, like, sometimes I'll order a Pokemon card and it'll be, like, advertised as just straight mint, but it comes with, like, lightly played whitening, which if you know what that means, great. If you don't, it's not really too relevant. And I'll just like ask for a refund, like mainly off a TCG player. And like the person, sometimes I get people who are like, no, the cards are sent out this way. They're double, triple checked by quality control. And I'm like, okay, you want me to email you pictures? And then I'll email them pictures. They'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry about that. It must have slipped through the cracks. I'm like, now at that point, I don't even want to return the cards. I at least want a partial refund for having to deal with your stupid bullshit. I mean, I'm starting to think that these videos should be two completely different things for Am I the Asshole and entitled people, because they are kind of just two completely different types of content. Because like, I'm not going to give advice. I'm just going to read these comments that I think are hilarious. Like here, this person writes, I had a woman come into my shop, order a drink, and then attempt to reach into the tip jar to take money to pay for it. I snatched the jar before she could grab anything and straight said, what the f*** are you doing? She says, you make enough money. You can pay for my drink. I said, no, you can pay for your drink or you can leave. She then was like, well, you've already made it, so you should just give it to me so it doesn't go to waste. I just straight said, lady, you can either pay and get your drink or I'll just throw it away. I don't effing care if it's a waste. You aren't rolling up into my shop and scamming me for a drink. She did end up paying in the end, and thankfully we never saw her again. I'm like, I don't get how people can like think like this. How they think they can just go everywhere and get places for free because they think they're like the center of the attention and they're the center of the world. You're not. You're not. You're like the worst person if you do this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And if you are like this and you're watching this video, I think you should like and subscribe. I seriously think you should like and subscribe. But like, don't interact with me at all because I really don't want to interact with you. Anyways, let's get on to the next story, which is from Would I Be the Asshole? And the title of this story is Would I Be the A-Hole for Making My Best Friend Pay for the Damage to My Car? The very first thing OP says is, okay, before you're like, obviously, let me explain. I went to my best friend's house and spent the night. We are going to go to the store and she backed into my car. Her driveway is one that's wide enough where you can turn around in it. She backed out of the garage and into my car. She immediately was like, oh, crap, I will absolutely pay for that. OP writes in parentheses, we have a very casual friendship. Nothing is ever that serious. A couple things here and there, but this is my first car that I've ever bought on my own. My fiance says he might be able to pop the dents out, but I'm more worried about the internal stuff. My dad says it doesn't look like she hit it hard enough to do anything with the interior. She felt really bad, and the car drives completely fine, in my opinion, but I've not even had the car for 2 years, and I'm still paying on it. So would I be the ass if I took up on her paying for the damages? I'm gonna get it looked at in the morning, so thanks in advance. No. Very short answer, but no, you would not be the ass. I mean, especially because your friend was even nice enough to offer. I don't think in almost every situation where someone offers something, you wouldn't be the ass. Like how someone here said, "Why would you be the a-hole? She ran into your car. She wants to own her mistakes. Let her do her thing." Someone else writes, "It's amazing that she offered. She broke it, and so she bought it." And someone else writes, she offered to pay for it, then she needs to file a claim with her insurance company and pay for it. End of the story. This is being made into a very complicated issue when it not is that. When it not is that. Wait, what? Wait, why am I actually losing my. When it's not that complicated there. I could have just said that the entire time. But I mean, obviously, just make sure that you're like to your friend, like, oh, thank you so much, and just be really like thankful. Be really thankful and grateful that your friend was even nice enough to pay for the damages. But yeah, that's a very short answer. That's as much as I have to say for this one. Let's move right on to the next one. All right, and the next and final one of this video is also from Would I Be the Asshole? The title is Will I Be the Asshole if I told my best friend's ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend that he cheated on her? Hello Reddit, first time posting here after a long time lurking. I, 26F, have a best friend, Roxy, fake name, 28F, who I've known for 5 years. She's like my fourth sister, and I love her. Long story short, she was in a relationship with this douchebag, 31M, for over 10 plus years, as they were high school sweethearts. They broke up about 2 years ago because he needed to find himself, but Roxy loved him so much they would still talk and still have intimacy. Oh. Recently, we found out that he's been talking to another woman, Bonnie, who is an unknown age, and even having a relationship with this woman while she does not live in the state, possibly having a relationship for over a year now. We stalked his Instagram account and found pictures of Bonnie and this douchebag together with multiple trips that they have gone on together. Alright, quick pause. I'm just going to call this guy John because I don't want to call him douchebag every single time he comes up, even though he is one. But, you know, I'm just going to call him John. I'm just going to call him John. It's easier. During this relationship he's been having with Bonnie, he's obviously been cheating on her with my best friend Roxy. Roxy then confronted John and obviously took the coward's way out and didn't admit to this, and then told Roxy that Bonnie was just a friend. Roxy calls bullshit and is now done with John. Now, here comes the situation. Would I be the ass if I DM Bonnie letting her know that John has been sleeping with my best friend for the entirety of their relationship? Roxy doesn't want anything to do with this. She is over, she doesn't care about him anymore, and she just wants to forget. I, although, have ulterior motives, and I want to ruin John's new relationship with Bonnie, and also girl code, let the girl know what John has been doing. So Reddit, would I be the ass for this? Like I said, first time posting, so if any text is weird, so sorry about that, blah, 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 blah. Alright, I'm going to give an odd kind of set of advice. I'm going to say, no, you wouldn't be the asshole, but you should mind your own business. Like, you wouldn't be the ass because you're helping someone out. And I mean, I would want to help someone out if someone's being cheated on. That's just not, it's not okay. I don't mess with that stuff. But you would be an ass because you're just completely invading these people's lives when they don't really know you too well. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the comments are just saying like, hey, it's her own personal life, it's his own personal life, just mind your own business. This person here says, you're the ass, stop stalking his Instagram, your fourth sister has moved on, maybe you should too. Someone says, butt out, it's none of your business. Next person says, yes, you're the ass, your friend said she just wants to forget, and this will come back on her, stay out of it, blah, 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 blah. Just a bunch of things. Almost every single person in this comment section is saying not to do it, and honestly, I would probably say not to do it too, but if you did it, you wouldn't necessarily be an ass unless your friend is like against you doing it. And another comment that I just read here is someone said, so how long are you planning on policing John's life? Did you miss the part where your friend wants to forget about it and move on? And then someone replied to that, this is crazy. This this one really opened my mind up. This person says, holy crap, I cannot believe they are 26 OP needs to get an effing life or even a hobby. Her and Roxy need to stop obsessing over this dude. This sounds like they're just petty, immature girls trying to blow up his relationship. What's the best case scenario? His girlfriend dumps him and he takes Roxy back? Ew. Roxy needs to move on. OP needs to get over her weird obsession. OP, mind your business and stop being so messy. I cannot believe that they are 26 years old. My bad. Anyways, I cannot believe that they are 26 years old and plotting things like this. This is like teenage shit. I am 19. As some of you guys know, I'm 19, and I don't even think I would like consider something. I mean, I might consider something like this, but just like for shits and giggles because it's funny. But these people are like doing it because like I don't know. I feel like it's different when you're 26 years old and 19. You know what I mean? I feel like this stuff stops when you're like 21. But anyways, with all that being said, that was the last story of the day. I appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe. I know you hear this from all the other YouTubers, and I hear it from a lot of other YouTubers too, and I never do because I just don't care enough to. But please do because it actually really, really helps out the channel. So please, pretty please with the cherry on top, just like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And happy New Year. Happy late New Year as well. Peace out, guys.